Hey guys, this is Dennis with Reviving the Man, and today I'm here to talk to you about how to deal with an ungrateful wife. Boom. So it's very similar to what I talked about in my last video about how to deal with a disrespectful wife. It falls into the same category. I think an ungrateful wife is more a symptom of your wife is taking you for granted. I think that's the main symptom. Your wife is taking you for granted. And what does that mean? That means that she's not understanding in the moment how much value you bring to her life, to her and her life. She's not understanding that in a sense that it could be gone. That's what it means to take somebody or something for granted. It means you think it will always be there. So if your wife is ungrateful, then I think that means that she's taking you for granted. And what that means is that she thinks you will always be there and everything that you provide will always be there. And that setup is not really good. That's not good at all, really, for long-term attraction or a stable marriage. Now, that's one extreme on the pole. The other extreme is that she doesn't trust you to stay at all, and that's not good either. I'm not suggesting that you move to that end of the pole, but there's a place in the middle where she understands that at some point she will say goodbye to you. Now, if you're lucky, that's a long, long time from now, on your or her deathbed, But she doesn't understand that goodbye is a part of an inevitability of your relationship. And so she takes you for granted. Now, what to do about that is, well, there's a couple things you could do about it. You could start talking about the things that you value in your life. You can start talking about the moments that you have not with each other. You don't want to talk about, you want her to make the connection about you. You don't want to tell her to do that. You don't want to help her do that. You want to lead her to that conclusion. So you do that by setting the example and talking about, in moments to moments, about things that you appreciate that are ephemeral. Like, for example, my daughter now is 2 years old, and so she says thank you, right? That's good. She's polite. But she gets the TH sound isn't in. The th sound's not there. So she says f instead. And the NK, the nk, isn't in. So she says k, right? So she often says, fuck you, daddy. Fuck you, mommy. Right? When we give her something, it's hilarious. It's a little kid running around saying, fuck you, daddy, and fuck you, mommy. It's hilarious. And that's going to go soon. Like in maybe 2 weeks, that sound's going to be gone. She's going to get past that, and it will never come back the way it is. So I talk about that. I talk about how I'm appreciating this beautiful moment in time where our little daughter's telling everybody to fuck off. I'm like sharing that beauty. I'm talking about that beauty because I value it and I know it's going to pass. So I'm leading in the sense that I am demonstrating gratefulness for these moments that come and go, because they're all around. It's happening to you all the time. So one thing you can do is start leading in that area. Start looking for things that are ephemeral, and everything's ephemeral. It's just a matter of how ephemeral it is. Is it a week, a day, a year? But everything's moving. Everything's moving. So focus on that. Talk about that, and then over time, your wife, if things are relatively stable in your marriage and you're doing a good job in other areas, then your wife should come to that conclusion on her own and start being more grateful to you. There's a chance that won't happen. And maybe you're doing things, maybe some of the things you're doing are not optimal. And meaning that, and by optimal, I mean you're not creating a stability or a long-term attraction with your wife. And those are two things you want to do. So to create stability, you take care of her needs. And you're the leader of the family, right? So you know what she needs. Sometimes you know what she needs more than she does. But you're also taking care, you're doing what it takes to create attraction, because you know that brings the spark and the magic into the relationship and will keep it there over the long term. So if you're not doing one of those, then you need to fix that. And then, so ungrateful is different than disrespectful. Ungrateful is kind of passive, right? She's not doing anything explicitly to disrespect you. It's what she's not doing that is essentially disrespectful. So you can't, unless she's like, you give her something and she doesn't say thank you. You give her a diamond ring and she doesn't say thank you. By all means, have a conversation, have a boundary conversation with her about that. Like, and we talked about in the last video about boundaries. So basically, get clear about what the boundary violation is, what the action is that you don't like and don't appreciate, and then tell her about it very clearly, very succinctly, and that you don't like it and you don't want it to continue. And if it does, you will enact X, Y, and Z consequence. So you want to do that. And same as it always was. You want to make sure that you're on your game in terms of your frame, your finances, and your fitness. Those things need to be in line. And then if she doesn't get in line with being grateful, then you need to start thinking about what kind of woman she is, and if you want to be in a relationship with that kind of woman, because some people are different. Some people are like this and some people are like that. So it's possible that maybe she's an ungrateful person, and she always has been, and she likely always will be. And if that's the case, that's the case. So you need to have a difficult conversation with yourself and see, is that what you want? Is that what you want? All right, guys, see you later. No, I won't see you later. You'll see me later. Keep watching. Be well until next time, until the next video. Enjoy your life, because you're not dead yet.